Hey guys, Harrison Graham here from Chat Sports. I encourage you guys to subscribe to us here at our brand new NFL Draft by Chat Sports YouTube channel. I reacted to ESPN's 7-round mock draft for the Chicago Bears on our Bears channel earlier this week. So enjoy that video coming up next here on the channel. And like I said, the more subscribers we get, the more draft content we're going to be able to plug out as we go forward. So sit back and enjoy. Chicago Bears Now is presented by Roan. I'm rocking the commuter shirt from Roan right now. Very breathable, flexible. Can rock this shirt anywhere, and you can get this shirt plus all their other men's clothing products by using code CHATSPORTS when you go to roan.com/chatsports. That's RHONE.com/chatsports. All right, coming up on today's show, welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham. I react to ESPN's 7-round Bears mock draft from one of their draft analysts, Jordan Reid. Of course, the Bears have 10 draft picks in April's NFL Draft, starting with the 9th pick in round 1, 53 and 61 in round 2, the 64th pick to start the 3rd round, 103 in round 4, also 133 in the 4th round via the Robert Quinn trade. Pair of 5th-round picks, 136 and 148, the 148 coming from Baltimore in the Roquan trade, and then a pair of 7th-round picks, 218 and then 258, which was a comp pick. And important note in this mock draft from ESPN is, I don't know if it was ESPN's fault, Jordan Reid and editor's fault, I'm not sure, but they got confused and gave the Chiefs the Bears' first 7th-round pick at 218. So, shrug emoji. I don't know what to tell you on that front. So, Jordan Reid only gave the Bears 9 picks for some reason. So, hey, that's why you subscribe to us here. And that's also why you share this video on social media. If you share it on Twitter, I will give you a retweet. Follow the steps. Click the share button, select the Twitter icon, click post to Twitter, tag me in the tweet at HGramNFL for a retweet. I will retweet everyone who shares this video. And little bonus today, first 10 shares on Twitter of those of you who tag me in the tweet will get a shout out on a future show, probably tomorrow on Friday or early next week, as soon as we get 10 or more. So share the video, tag me in it. Want to shout out on the show? That's how it happens. Go ahead and make it happen. All right, let's get into this mock draft from ESPN. Broderick Jones, the offensive tackle out of Georgia, who has been rising up draft boards as of late, had a strong combine, has a good athletic profile. You look at his Pro Football Focus grades from 2022, played over 900 snaps, 78.2 overall, which is well above average. Really good pass blocker, which you like. Run blocker, still above average, but not as good of a run blocker as a pass blocker, at least right now. And obviously, we've talked about this quite a bit. You need another tackle, and I think with Matt Eberflus revealing recently that Braxton Jones has the ability to kick to right tackle, if Broderick Jones is a high-level left tackle prospect, the Bears could draft him. I prefer Paris Johnson Jr., but Jones is rising up boards, and he's a good fit, and if they took him at number 9, I wouldn't hate it whatsoever. I think it would be a quality selection. The athletic traits are what Ryan Poles wants, and you could have Braxton Jones, Broderick Jones. So, hey, you could have more nicknames in Chicago if you want. I would prefer Paris Johnson, but I'd take Broderick Jones as well. Who do you think is the better offensive tackle option for Chicago? Type PJ for Paris Johnson Jr., type BJ for Broderick Jones. Here's what you guys think. I prefer Paris Johnson, but Broderick Jones is moving up draft boards. All right, let's get to the second pick from ESPN's mock. No trades, by the way. Isaiah Foskey, the edge out of Notre Dame, a player we haven't talked a ton about and probably should talk a little bit more about because he's about 270 pounds, a big edge rusher, which in this scheme makes a lot of sense, and he's been very productive. 13.5 tackles for loss last year, 10.5 sacks. He also had 10 sacks in 2021, so back-to-back 10-plus sack seasons. And at 270, he could probably kick inside on some clear passing downs if you want him to get some run at 3-tech as well. He's big. He's physical. Ryan Poles has also talked about the value of getting local guys in the building, another Notre Dame guy in Foskey if you want to bring him in as well. I think in round 2 it makes a lot of sense. It can help bolster this defensive line that still has a lot of needs. You need help. Foskey, I think, could be a day 1 starter for this team based on what they currently have on their front four. So we'll see if he's a player the Bears are interested in, but he's been productive and he has the size and length combination that Matt Eberflus likes. Today's show sponsored by Roan. The men's closet needed a radical reinvention. Roan stepped up to the challenge with their commuter collection, and their commuter collection is the most comfortable, breathable, and flexible set of products known to man, and here is why. Because, most importantly, you got to be flexible. You got to be able to wear stuff to work that you can wear to happy hour, to the golf course, whatever the case may be, and that's what Roan does with their comfortable dress pants and dress shirts, quarter zips, and polos as well. What's cool about Roan's shirts, and especially their dress shirts, is that machine washable. Throw it in the washing machine, air dry it, you're going to be good to go. They've got their 4-way stretch fabric, very breathable. Even when it's hot outside, it's no big deal. You feel very, very good rocking this shirt. Looking good has always been easy. There's been plenty of companies that have put out good-looking dress shirts, but not many have been able to make them look good and be comfortable as well and have the flexibility to machine wash. I can't get over that aspect of this. Plus, odor-free technology with their Gold Fusion anti-odor technology. You'll be smelling fresh and clean all day long, and like I mentioned, the machine washable aspect makes it a bonus as well. Go to roan.com/chatsports. Use code chatsports for 20% off. That's roan.com/chatsports. RHONE.com/chatsports. Code chatsports. That link is in the comments and in the description. Get shopping today. Okay, let's go to the next pick here. Julius Brents, the Kansas State corner, who's also been rising up draft boards. 61st overall selection here by Jordan Reid to Chicago. Look at his coverage stats from last year for the Wildcats. Gave up just over 46% completion when targeted, just 374 yards and 3 touchdowns, 4 breakups, 4 interceptions. I watched him and TCU wide receiver Quentin Johnston in person go up against each other on 2 different occasions last year. There were some good battles. They both made plays, but Brents actually picked off TCU's Max Duggan in the end zone on a play when going up against Johnston. So he can hold his own. He's 6'3". I love the length there. I think that's a big bonus as well for a corner. If you can have that length and still be agile and flip those hips like you need to in the NFL, that's big. I think he's got a real good chance to be a rock-solid CB2 in the NFL, maybe even a CB1, but you don't need a CB1 right now. Jalen Johnson's got that under control. Kyler Gordon's going to play mostly nickel. You get Julius Brents to upgrade at your second outside corner spot. You're feeling a lot better about this secondary, which is why I think drafting a corner on day 2 of the draft could make a lot of sense. Do you guys agree? Do you think the Bears should draft a cornerback early on in this draft? Day 1, day 2. Type Y for yes, type in for no. I wouldn't rule it out at pick 9, but I do like doing it in the 2nd or 3rd round more. Let me know what you guys think. Y for yes or N for no. Zacch Pickens in the 3rd round, pick number 64 overall, the defensive tackle out of South Carolina. We've talked about him before. This is the first pick where I'm like, I like Zacch Pickens. He was a former 5-star recruit, but 64 overall is too early. The traits just have not met with production. The production has just been, honestly, not that great in his college career. I mean, last year he was fine, 42 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, but he's got athletic ability to be better than this. I don't think a top 65 selection is worthy here for Zacch Pickens. Later in the 3rd, like if you trade down at some point and get a late 3rd, another early 4th, I could see it, but I don't think at 64 I would go this route. Now, for Ricky Stromberg at 101, that's the range for Zacch Pickens that I would be comfortable taking him at. Stromberg, the center out of Arkansas, who we've talked about quite a bit, and I think 3rd, 4th round for him makes a ton of sense. You look at his PFF grades from last year, almost 900 snaps, 82.4 overall, rock solid. Good pass blocker, great in the run blocking game. Ricky Stromberg, and just outside the top 100 here, is great value. I think it's really, really good value for the Chicago Bears. I like him. He plays with an attitude. I think, if you opt to keep Cody Whitehair and Lucas Patrick, or one of them, you could draft Stromberg, let him kind of spend 2023 as a redshirt year, and then he takes over in 2024 as the starting center of this football team. I definitely think that could be in the works. So we'll see what happens on that front, but I like Stromberg a lot. He's a top 3 or 4 center in this draft for me. Now, who do you think will be the starting center in 2023? Type CW for Cody Whitehair, LP for Lucas Patrick, or type R for a rookie. I think right now it'll probably be Whitehair, but things are moving. It could certainly change. Let me know what you guys think. Next up, round 4, pick number 133. It is Carl Brooks, the defensive lineman out of Bowling Green. And I labeled him as a defensive lineman because he's kind of a tweener. You look at his production at Bowling Green in the MAC Conference, low-level Division I, he tore it up. I mean, he dominated lesser competition. 18 tackles for loss, 10 sacks, a couple of forced fumbles. His PFF grade was 93. I mean, he was dominant at that level, had a good Senior Bowl as well. But the dilemma here is he's kind of a tweener. He's not a great athlete. Does he translate to the NFL? I think he's probably more of a 3-tech defensive tackle in the NFL. He played more edge at Bowling Green, but he's 300 pounds and not a premier athlete, so I don't know what happens with him. I think you take him sometime on day 3 of the draft for his production and kind of motor and hope he becomes a high-level rotation guy. I think that's kind of what you're projecting here with Carl Brooks. All right, guys, subscribe to the channel. If you want me to unveil a brand new 7-round Bears mock draft, hit that subscribe button. Let's make it happen here on the channel. Haven't released a new 7-round mock in the last week or week and a half. Would like to release another one soon. If you want a brand new one, let us know. Subscribe. We'll try and make that happen soon. Xavier Hutchinson, round 5, pick number 136, the wide receiver out of Iowa State. Obviously, the Bears have some good depth at receiver now after the DJ Moore trade, but I got to say, Hutch in round 5, if he's actually sitting there, you almost can't ignore that upside. I mean, I think he could sneak into day 2 and go in the 3rd round. Had almost 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns last year, over 100 catches. Very productive for the Cyclones. I think he could develop into a wide receiver 2 or 3 in the NFL. You bring him in here now as like a 4 or 5. Let him compete with a guy like Equanimous St. Brown for snaps. I love that. I love Xavier Hutchinson on day 3. I think the value is there. He's a really good physical kind of one-on-one guy. You can throw back shoulders to him. He's going to make plays. Probably isn't going to separate a ton, but day 3, production, physical, I like it for Chicago. Name your favorite day 3 draft prospect. You know, sleeper guy, a guy that's flying under the radar that you think could be a contributor in the NFL. Drop a name down in the comments. Rashad Torrance, the 2nd safety out of Florida, who, quite frankly, top 150 pick for a DB that ran a 4.72 in the 40. That's pretty slow. And by the way, it's not like he's one of these bruising strong safeties. He's 6 foot, less than 200 pounds. That's free safety corner weight, and he ran a 4.72. He better be an excellent special teams guy if you're going to take him in round 5. Who knows in round 7, pick 218, because Jordan Reid gave that pick to the Kansas City Chiefs for some reason, as we previously mentioned. Round 7, pick 258, C.J. Johnson, the wide receiver out of East Carolina, who, I'll be honest, I haven't heard about him at all, but looked up the production and size. He's 6'2", 220, over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns in the 7th round. Sure, why not? I mean, you know, if nothing else, stash him on your practice squad. A guy with that height and weight combination, with that production, I mean, that's nothing to be ignored in round 7. So sure, like I would absolutely take a flyer on this kid with that athletic profile and upside. So we'll see what happens there. All right, great ESPN 7-round mock draft, A, B, C, D, or F. How about I for incomplete? Because they flat out did not give the Bears one of their picks. All in all, I did like a lot of the picks, but come on, Jordan Reid, ESPN. Let's get it together. That's why you subscribe to us here at Bears Now. Just to recap this ESPN 7-round mock draft, it was Broderick Jones kicking things off with the number 9 pick out of Georgia. Notre Dame edge rusher Isaiah Foskey in round 2 at pick number 53. Kansas State cornerback Julius Brents in round 2 at pick number 61. South Carolina's Zacch Pickens, which I felt was a little early, the defensive lineman there at pick 64. Then the day 3 picks here, Ricky Stromberg, the center out of Arkansas at 103. Also in round 4, Carl Brooks, the defensive lineman out of Bowling Green. Iowa State receiver Xavier Hutchinson in round 5 at pick 136. Rashad Torrance out of Florida at pick number 148 in the 5th round. They didn't do 218. Shrug emoji. And then at 258 in the 7th round, C.J. Johnson, the wide receiver out of East Carolina. All right, guys, appreciate you for tuning in to today's video. Be sure to share this video on social media. First 10 who tag me in a tweet doing so get a shout out on a future show.